So, dear participants, today we are going to talk about luxury brands and especially how to develop the right marketing strategy in China. Okay, so let me introduce Antonina Grunska-Gokdeniz. And so welcome, Antonina, to our live session about luxury brands and marketing in China. I really appreciate your joining. And so, the Antonina, could you introduce yourself? I think it would be better to know you more.
As you mentioned, I'm Antonin Grunska-Gokdeniz. I'm official member of Association of Sinologists at the National Academy of Science of Ukraine. I'm author of the book called China's DNA. It's about contemporary China and gives you a helicopter view of what country is it now, what you should pay attention when you deal with people, and how to create successful relationships. And currently I'm developing in the sphere of luxury marketing to Chinese consumers. And I also have a blog quite popular in UAE in Chinese language, where I'm sharing information about luxury lifestyle here and information about some new goods on the market for the Chinese consumer. Thank you so much, Tatiana. Maybe we can introduce you right now.
Yes, sure. My pleasure. Hello, guys. My name is Tatiana. And welcome again to the session. So I have been graduated by Nanjing University of Post Telecommunications and live in China for 3 years. And so have 5 years of experience about digital campaigns, advertisement and marketing, especially in China. And so I'm founder and creator of advertisement platform called Mobiblade China. This is the platform allowed for the foreign brands enter into Chinese market. And so actually I'm working with international clients who came from Europe, Russia especially, and more focused to give them the opportunity to enter into Chinese digital market. So I created 62 successful projects for international brands in China, and my business areas was dedicated in Nanjing, Shanghai, Beijing, Hong Kong, Baidu and Beijing, and also in Shanghai. I visited different offices. Also, I visited and really familiar with Alibaba, and visited their office in Guangzhou, and also worked with the Tencent agency network. This is the famous medias. Okay, guys, and okay, let me continue with the questions we have. First of all, I would like to start with the Chinese digital media channels and to answer on the questions. Okay. First of all, we're going to discuss what is important in the multi-channels on the marketing campaign in China. I would like to share with you some screens. Wait a second. So in China, they're more likely the people are buying the products on the Chinese marketplaces. It's the same like we quote already, for example, like in Russia, Ozon, or we have the Yandex Market, or we have in international like Amazon. And so Antonina, in Dubai, we have the most popular marketplace. It's called, could you remind me?
Amazon mostly and Noon.
Amazon mostly. Noon also. Yes, so it's the same, but Chinese consumers, they're preferring to use, and of course, their own Chinese marketplaces. And the most famous Chinese marketplace, this is Tmall, Taobao, and JD.com. So, and also probably for our attendees, it will be much familiar the multi-brands luxury e-commerce that also included already on some Chinese marketplaces like Net-a-Porter, Farfetch, probably everyone knows already, Revolves and Madeira and others. So, and especially social commerce ecosystem, they're built with the mini program. Mini program, it's like application applet, but you don't need to install them onto the your phone or, for example, on your computer. This is automatically already integrated inside the system, like Xiaohongshu, this is Little Red Book, or WeChat mini program. So, and especially as I mentioned before, on when our meeting just began. So actually, for Chinese consumers, they have a festival season. For example, like we have Black Fridays, they have the most popular season, like in festival, like Double 11, 11/11. This is the actually the single
day.
Yes, but already for Chinese people, they know like the festival, well-known festival for buy everything, the same like Black Friday, and especially on this festival, the most of sales are making from especially 11/11, and this is example on the slide, like 74.1 billion sales and recorded in 2020. So even like we just had
doubled last year, yes.
Yes, pandemic, but anyway, it's huge sales opportunities, especially Chinese consumer are buying everywhere online. So for them, it's really easy to use, easy going, and so on. So if compare, and every year, if compare the sales recording, especially for this festival season, every year it's growing. And the main, of course, festival season kicked by Alibaba system, especially like on Taobao, they're owners of Taobao and Tmall. And so also they're involved with a lot of live streamers, especially in China, because Chinese consumer, they're selling them consumer goods through the live stream everywhere in any application, especially on the Honan television, on the Yoko, on the others of platforms, and so on. Even like the Katy Perry and any famous stars from USA, they're also using this as festival to sell consumers goods, especially cosmetic. And the second festival I would like to mention, this is the 618, becoming soon, actually. And this is festival created by JD.com. This is also biggest marketplace in China, where consumers are buying everything they want, from cosmetic to the dress. And it usually starts in late May. So that's why I'm just busy on preparing some advertisement campaigns right now. And the record, of course, it's not huge like on the Double 11, but anyway, it's like around 31.53 billion sales.
So yeah, almost nothing.
Yes, almost nothing. So also mentioned, if you will give me. There's some kind of infographic about this, especially shopping festivals. If you could see from 29 to 2019, you can see there's a crazy increasing of the billion revenues that the festivals are brought into China. Okay, so, and the multi-channels, I just would like to mention quickly what kind of social media Chinese are using during those two famous festivals. So the most popular channel for Chinese users, this is Weibo. This is the same like Facebook. For understanding WeChat, WeChat connecting, including everything. And also Xiao Hongshu I mentioned before. This is Little Red Book. I don't know, it's combination like Instagram and also probably Facebook. So and Douyin, this is Chinese TikTok. I suppose everyone knows this medium. Okay, so I will not focus more on the data, but Weibo one most of the popular channel also to create the post and promote them through the news feed. So, and I just would like to show the key ads formats. So this is the popular formats from the post and redirecting to the CTA of sign-up users. This example about food box delivery. So they're making the advertisement and promotion, especially here the free delivery, like a general message on the first box, and the consumers need to sign up. So and to get the free delivery. Okay, this is example of the famous luxury brands promotion in Weibo. This is especially Lancome advertisement and Laneige. So this is the cosmetic brands that making post promotion, the same like for your understanding on Facebook and Instagram. And then Weibo is allowed to promote this post with CTA to buy this cosmetic or cream through the Tmall or Taobao, through the local marketplace I mentioned before. This is the also example of key video formats. So they have banners formats to promote, like interstitials, and also they have video advertisement. Okay, so especially for the WeChat. Okay, so WeChat system, especially including not only application of WeChat, this is a really huge ecosystem of advertisement. And so they'll include in social network I mentioned before, and this is for your understanding comparison with the international channel, entertainment application, information or news, software and tools, and lifestyle and daily services for using. Include also 58 like marketplace and GD.com. So, and some numbers of WeChat. Of course, WeChat are still huge social network. It's competing with Douyin, with TikTok in China. And this is channel have a lot of monthly active users, 1.16 billion monthly active users on WeChat. So then we could understand, of course, we have to use this channel for promotion luxury brands, because it will cover a lot of consumers. This is for your understanding. This is WeChat, including everything, and like you can use map, you can use renting the flats or apartments. You can use taxi. You can pay for everything or buy something in the restaurant or on the shops. So, and the famous formats and using for the multi-channels in China on WeChat, especially WeChat Moments. This is when, for example, the brands, some micro course, they are making the advertisement and promotion of their products through newsfeed, and so making attention to be impact on the brand awareness. So this is especially really good to use for those who have a lots of opportunities to spend money, especially for WeChat Moments, because it's not cheap advertisement format. This is possibility about WeChat targeting. We could target on geolocation, age, gender, also mobile phones, or even just like operation system or Wi-Fi connection, 4G connection, and so on. Also could target on the status, for example, if you're married or single, and education. Sometimes on the campaigns, it's really important to target on. This is an example of promotion on WeChat as well. The famous brands of Lancome again, Dior, also Armani, this is like an example, especially on the news feed on WeChat. When you are scrolling down your news, you're allowed to see the sponsored message of these advertisements through WeChat. This is also some moments example with the banners, especially for the cosmetic luxury brands. So, Antonia, probably we will continue with other questions because I don't want to spend most of our time for the advertisement, and then we could continue to discuss other social channels.
I want to cover on what is really important for Chinese consumer in general and why Chinese consumers prefer to buy luxury goods. Chinese consumers stress several features which are important for them before they're making any decision of purchase. First is safety, second is prestige, third is price line. So safety is very important, as if you follow Chinese news, in 2008 there was a big scandal with baby formula, and after that maybe many children were poisoned because of one unhealthy, one unsafe formula which came to the market. It created a huge impact and boosted imported products of formula. And right now, wherever you enter with food product or cosmetic product, Chinese consumers, first of all, will check the certification. It should have multiple certificates, both from abroad and from the country itself. Second one is prestige. Chinese people stress their appearance, and it is important for them to communicate any achievements they have already in life via some sort of thing they're wearing, thing they're owning, or the education they have. This is closely connected to the notion of face, which is so important in China. Face or 面子 means literary prestige, social recognition, and respect in the society. So by consuming, let's say, luxury brands, Chinese people try to highlight that they have certain status and that they have achievements, financial success, they're able to afford it. And third but not least, price point. Although many Chinese in the middle class is straightening, they can afford much more than their fathers and grandfathers. They're still checking the pricing. And what Tatiana mentioned about single day shopping festival, it shows that one of the reasons the sales are so high is that they try to save up during the shop festival. Let's say they have something in their eye and they are looking for a certain product, but they will wait for the shopping festival or that trip to Europe where they can save up on tax-free or on the shopping festival discounts, or maybe a live streaming price offered by a famous blogger, because they are practical and calculating all the resources they have. So price point is really important. And as I mentioned, the psychology behind buying luxury is mostly because they have the ability to do so, and the middle class is straightening, get along the wealthy people. And second, the prestige they want to highlight. They want to show to other people that they came into the room. Ladies do it by the bag, and men do it mostly by the watch they're wearing. These 2 points I wanted to mention.
Okay, sounds good. Just in case the Chinese people are also trying to have a prestige. And also for them, it's really important to use as well the foreign brands, because, for example, most of in my cases, during the marketing career, I realized the foreign brands, when they would like to enter into Chinese market, especially, first of all, they have to make the marketing research. If they not allowed to make marketing research by themselves, so they can ask the specialist and the teams who are allowed to give the expertise on this part, because Chinese, they have also the population, for example, like Generation Z, the sum of products are for them is much appreciable, and then would like to take these products right away. Especially, I'm talking about the gum. I'm talking about the chocolate. And the recent case with Dawin and Duff, for example, there are a lot of consumers from the Generation Z who just bought the Duff everywhere, because when you're just opening this chocolate, you allow it to see some wishes, and this especially lucky wishes. And for the Chinese consumer, they also made a lot of happiness, especially during the 11/11 festival. So also I would like to make an additional notes for this part. Of course, it's really important to know what Chinese consumer are looking for, what they likes. Okay.
Well, absolutely, they have different demographics. This is a good point, Tatiana. And wherever you enter any market, it is important to do marketing research. And they do like foreign brands. But recent events with scandal between H&M, Nike, Uniqlo, and others, and Xinjiang imported cotton, it showed and it hit up another trend which is visible in the past 2 or 3 years in China, which is called guochao. So national wave, you can translate it this way. So Chinese consumers get back to the roots, and they try to appreciate and have more pride in the product produced in China. They will stress the certification, they will check the product and do the research before purchase. But because China is developing so fast, they have a pride in their own country and they want to support them. It is still contradictory, because one of the top live streamers in China, Li Jiaqi, known in the West as Austin Lee or Lipstick King, once was making a live stream, and some of the consumers, he was promoting a local brand. One of the consumers started commenting, why are you giving such a high price on nationally produced product? And Li Jiaqi was very angry. He said, do you think our product doesn't worth a high price? If you think so, don't come to my live stream. You have to appreciate where you're coming from. And his response was very harsh for Chinese, very straightforward, and he just cut it out. And definitely it only boosted the sales.
Okay. Yes, I'm agree with you, and just would like to add some cases with the brands promotion in China, and especially I'm talking about FMCG industry. For example, for Chinese consumers, really important to see the future impact or the previous relationship between the countries that we mentioned also in the beginning. For example, if talking about Russian ice cream, especially for them, they're really known already with some Russians brands, and they really like the chocolate, they really like ice cream right now. But anyway, for them, it's really important to show them government relationships, because it's really important for the Chinese consumer to be accept the brand, especially in China. And of course, they will buy this very well if the relationship are really good. For example, between Russia and China, there are really good relationships. So that's why the president, when they presented to Sabine the Чистая линия, this is the called in Russian ice cream. So then realized through Douyin and a lots of QLs and celebrities are making huge live streaming through Douyin, and they made the sales with $1.5 billion.
Wow.
Yes, and on 11/11 especially, and then others brand, okay, they realized, all right, we have FMCG factory, for example, in United Arab Emirates or in Russia, so I will be successful in China. But if you also just mentioned before the some cases, some not successful cases like with H&M or with other brands, of course, they need to be prepared to the relationship
On
with
the
the government.
backlash, exactly.
So any brands, luxury or who want to build the relationship with China, they need to be careful and also to be really give an impact into the Chinese.
Exactly. Yes, good point.
Okay, and so let's also make in the mix between the cases and some analytic stuff, because I suppose here on the chat, please guys make an the yes or no. Are you from marketing or digital industry? So I will understand if I could share with you the some kind of difficult definition on the analytic stuff.
It's
So
okay. You can make it a bit easier in simple English.
okay, all right. But anyway, could you just make on the chat like from digital or from marketing? Could you just introduce a little bit from the audience? I will understand how we can communicate. So, and talking about analytics tools, guys, please make some notes on the chat. You're not watching TV or drinking coffee. Yes.
But I want to mention one more point about demographics. It's very interesting how the market is changing. Um, our audience might heard about it also from digital marketing. Our audience might heard about it, but the world famous stereotype that Chinese family can have only one child, actually is not working anymore. Since 2016, Chinese people can have more than one child. So what was the reason behind it? Government just saw that country facing a huge problem of aging. That means the demographic shifted. There are lots of Chinese people who have some financial ability, some savings from the life, and they prefer to spend it either on the family, supporting their grandchildren, children, or on their hobbies. They're also quite active on Chinese TikTok, Douyin. Have you seen them, Tatiana? They are very interesting bloggers. Pensioners who are active in Chinese social media.
No, I haven't seen yet, but I realize yes, most of bloggers are relocated right now on Douyin, especially, and they're making really successful streams. But about baby, no, I didn't see it.
So there is also this group of people whom you can consider as a target audience. They would be the people of certain age, let's say after 55, after 60 in China. They would be interested in nutritious products, some fashion brands suitable their age group and modesty at this age. Skincare products, traveling. Before the pandemic, you could see them in big groups all over Europe, basically all over the world. And also another extreme of the dial is the mini-me trend, which is also very interesting. Some Chinese, regardless their income, if you have when you deliver a baby, you want them to look like you. So brands are satisfying that need. Any type of brand, including luxury brand, they create matching outfits. You can buy a bag. Like today, I watched a video which bag you can use and you can buy and use with your daughter or with your son at the same time, because some brands offering mini bags. You purchase one thing, but you can share with someone from your family. And another interesting way of another interesting target is pets. Right now, Chinese are spending a lot on luxury accessories and food for pets, including rabbits, mini dogs. Not all the first-tier cities are allowed to have big dogs. Even Tiffany has this cup for the dog food, but it has Tiffany label or maybe some accessories with diamonds. It's all available right now on the market. So this is also the way to look into if your product is related to that or if your customer is in that business.
Yeah, that's really nice sharing scenes about the especially brands of many industries. Our Chinese consumers are really like to buy. Okay, so yes, and guys, they're sharing right now on the chat the sum of from digital marketing. Okay, so it sounds good. So I will share the some tools on Chinese marketing have used before in my experience, and of course we know that a search engine system like Google are not available in China. And the most popular search engine system that impact a lot of consumers, and everyone just use the system and install the application on their phone. This is Baidu. And I usually use Baidu Tongzhi. This is the analytics system. So you allowed to see everything you need inside the system. This is system the same or similar with Google Analytics system. You could see the any statistic like on Google Analytics, but beside this, you can track everything, especially like social media traffic or even other search engines like Tihos 360 or Shanma. And others, you could analyze, for example, your traffic sources. You could also make a conversion, and especially also who familiar with Google Analytic system or the Google AdWords. So the Baidu allowed to make the similar links, similar tracking links like Google, but they're not using UTM links, for example, to count your source. So you have to use any other tracking things to analyze, for example, all right, so I'm just selling the skincare or the cream on my website, and then I could track the conversion or the sales. For example, if I'm making making the redirection on Tmall or Taobao on the store, I could analyze through the Baidu Tongzhi everything I need in one place. So I highly recommend this system to use. And probably on the other live meeting, we are going to share more information about this stuff. The second, I highly recommend to use. The second tool I kindly recommend to use. This is web system Panceton. And this is system the same also like business advertisement tools on Facebook. If for the audience will be much like understandable to explain.
Tatiana, what is the estimated budget when you were talking about ecosystem and also all the functionalities of WeChat? You mentioned that advertisement and boosting your post in the moments, it's quite expensive. What numbers we're talking about? Like how much would be a basic campaign for a certain industry in Baidu, or maybe on WeChat? How much to create a mini program, Weibo? Just give some guidance of the numbers, because people who are watching, they might be interested in this question.
Sure. Yep. If you are talking about social media, and of course, WeChat is much popular channel right now to advertise, to make the advertisement, and they're working in most of cases on WeChat moments by pricing model CPM. Cost per millennium, so it's mean like you're paying for the 1,000 impressions, and you have to book, for example, your campaign at least for 1 or 3 months. 1 month it's not enough to promote your service very well, and especially for every quarter you have to start. Of course, depends from the industry. You have to start at least 6,000 USD per first month to analyze your audience, to impact invest on this channel.
And then adjust the campaign.
Yes, and so of course for the second month you already analyzed the target audience you already promote and already collect into your website or inside the WeChat mini program. So, and on the second month, it depends, but again, at least like 6 or 7,000. Even you already make sure that the audience target very well, and you allow to make your own DMP system, like the audience description, the right audience description. So, of course, you could invest more. And depends also from your needs and from CTA, for example. If your CTA, I mean, just like the call into action, right? To make a call or to make a followers on your official Instagram, or sorry, WeChat, like the same on Instagram. So it is a story also. Need to invest the money depends on your CTA. What do you want? Because WeChat Mom is also allowed to make leads inside the newsfeed, for example, have a creative to impact the leads inside WeChat system. And also, I highly recommend to invest on the analytic and CRM system on WeChat. This is tools called like Drip CRM. You have to pay every month the fee for using this system, but you can analyze everything in one dashboard as well. Besides the Baidu Analytics, if comparing with Baidu Analytics, you allowed to see all the tracking scenes inside this system. So I'm highly recommended to use some WeChat marketing CRM system.
But talking about WeChat mini program, for some brands it's necessary, especially if they can provide the logistics. How much would be to develop a mini program on the WeChat?
WeChat, they have especially the backend system, and backend system is allowed to use and build the mini program with the sample. The sample, you just need to make a deposit. You're making the deposit for first month or for 1 year. For 1 year, it depends again from the industry, it's cosmetic or any others, but they have the pricing model like a deposit for 1 year in most of cases, and it's around it's beginning from 15,000 RMB. So I just need to convert to
15,000, roughly $3,000. A bit
yes,
less.
it's around this, and you allowed to use the any mini program sample there. So, or you could build your own like the landings inside this mini program and making this front end and back end development. It depends from you. But for many foreign brands, for example, if you're going to the classic agency in China, they will ask you for 20 or 30,000 dollars to make and build your own mini program without the sample. But actually, you have to compare the two cases, or if you have a Chinese team who is really professional in this kind of development scene, of course, it's much cheaper to make a deposit on the system. You're allowed to connect WeChat with the WeChat stores with mini program, and then you can invest not so much money like through the local team,
like outsourced, yeah,
like outsourcing or something. Of course, you could ask some freelancers to make and help you to build WeChat mini program, but anyway, you know, just like for this especially direction or the way of on the marketing for the building WeChat mini program, you have to work with the experienced team, of course.
yeah, absolutely.
And who has lots of cases to build the mini program.
By the way, if our audience has any questions, we will finish soon, and you can take notes and then ask when we will start the Q&A. Tatiana, what about Baidu and Weibo campaign? How much estimated the price? for the campaign.
Okay, Baidu. We need to also make the comparison of the two key formats of Baidu, and then we'll give the price. Baidu campaign, they have SEM promotion. This is search engine management promotion. This is the same like on Google with keywords promotion on the browser, on the especially search engine system. So also depends from the industry. Let's say for the real estate or luxury brands like accessories, you could start, I don't know, it depends also from the office. If you have your office on the foreign spaces or the countries like Europe or outside of China, I mean, you have to impact and invest more money. Even they Baidu have the restriction and had especially recent news. So only top 500 website from the Fortune or Racina Finance, they're allowed to promote their website in China. And then if they're allowed to promote their website, they can invest, for example, let's say from 2,000 or 3,000 euro per first month. This is enough to analyze the audience again and to collect the audience for remarketing, because the logic the same like on Google. On the first month, of course, you need to realize, for example, if the some late attendees. So yes, if you would like to get and generate the leads from Baidu, so it will be the price I just mentioned before. If you would like to make the more brand awareness or brand zone, it will be much costable. So, and also you need to invest more money, depends on from your brand history, and also of course if you're included on the top 500 websites on the Fortune. So Baidu is really strict, because
hopefully we will have that level of customers.
yes, because any other cases, but I have good news. I especially also will mention with the price. If, for example, website, I don't know, or startup would like to enter into Chinese market and to be on the search engines, they're allowed to make the sample of Baidu lead generation form. So this is website like a sample. They're located on the hosting in Baidu. Still you're growing, so still your startup, you're allowed to use this as sample of the system in Baidu. You're allowed to generate and collect the leads inside Baidu system. So let's say it's not bad news, I suppose, for the startups, because they need to spend.
Maybe to wrap it up step by step, time is coming on. You can start writing your questions, and I have one more note on luxury brands who want to perform well in 2021. All of us know that it is post-pandemic situation for many countries, especially in Europe. Pandemic is still active, and many countries are in lockdown, but everything already finished in China. In some parts of the China, they are not even wearing masks. It's just inadvisable, and people still stick to it if they're going to crowded places. So consumers in China are already hungry for many types of brands, especially the luxury. I will just give you an example of how the government worked it out, understanding that there is a demand and how to satisfy it. There is an island in China, in the south of China. I'm coming from Ukraine. It's like south of Ukraine, Crimea. So this is the same in China. They government opened it a free zone, duty-free zone with many world brands. And what happened since December, and especially during this time of big migration during Chinese New Year, many Chinese consumers came to travel there instead of going abroad. Because if you go abroad, you need to be quarantined, you are spending too much time on that. So by traveling there and spending there, just in those 2 weeks during Chinese New Year, they spent $108 million. Just imagine how much potential there is in China, just in 2 weeks in that period of time. And secondly, as the country is very digitalized and stressing out the safety, it is important and it is an advantage for foreign brands to enter to do everything digital way. You can still have the brand awareness in 2021. You can enter the market and invest the budget in you maybe not spending on the European market into Chinese one. I don't really understand people who are saying Chinese market is not important. We can survive with foreign markets. It's not the question now. This is a must. So if you're investing right now, you have to make it digitalized. You have to be established in the social media programs, social media platforms, and it is even advisable to start working with key opinion leaders and key opinion customers who will promote your brand so it will boost your sales. Think about digitalization as the priority when you enter Chinese market with any type of brand in 2021. And talking about luxury, there is a book by Erwan Rembau. One is called Bling Empire, and second one, which was released in 2020, Future Lux. He's talking about striking numbers that by 2025, 60% of world consumers of luxury will be coming from China. So there is a huge potential for them with different demographics, different type of products. That's what you have to consider. And as Tatiana mentioned, do your marketing research before entering, before communicating your brand to Chinese consumers. Do your homework. Don't be afraid to go niche. As I mentioned, there are pensioners with their unique hobbies who study languages, musical instruments, and travel. There are small, little consumers, mothers investing a lot into them. There are Generation Zs who are interested in foreign brands and want to be cool, express their individuality. And also, there are very niche directions like pet products, accessories, food, even luxury goods you can never imagine of, like some people are importing air from Canada. It's quite popular in China. So these are my key advices. Go digital, do your homework, enter Chinese market as soon as possible, and be open-minded about all the niches.
Okay, thanks so much, Antonina, for
Thank
your
you, Tatiana.
really great suggestions on the digital market. I suppose we have several minutes to end, so let's get rid of questions and wanted to discuss. How do you manage the different interest in the market based on the demographics of China for them to focus on your brand? So I suppose they're talking about the different digital channels. That's on this case, Diana, right?
Different interests. Diana, would you mind to specify by different interests?
And just probably need to mention the special industry.
Yes, and also your industry, it will help, or maybe the industry of your client. Second one, Tatiana, what is the second question?
Okay. At what stage do you recommend a brand to enter Chinese luxury market? At the very beginning, first became known all around the world, and only after approach Chinese market. What stage do you recommend brand to enter Chinese luxury market?
I personally would recommend to do it in China, but as I mentioned before, how Chinese consumers are making a choice, depending on the product, please specify it a bit later. You need the right certification. You can actually create the brand story specifically for Chinese consumers. You can communicate it very well via influencers, live streamers, key opinion leaders, and key opinion customers. Who will highlight what is special about your brand, what is special about the product. Even if your brand doesn't have the history in the West, it can be very well welcomed in China if it's safe, if it solves their problems, and if it gives them exclusivity. So if you have the financial means, Chinese market is perfect one to start. And who knows, maybe when you become big in China, you don't really need the foreign markets, or it will be easier for you to become successful all over the world.
Okay. And especially, I'm familiar with Ekaterina and well-known Ekaterina Byte Online. Yes, she's doing the really luxury pet accessories, and she has a factory in United Kingdom, and she
Pet
produces,
accessories.
yes, accessories, especially luxury bags for the dogs, for like small dogs you would like to handle in everywhere. So
I mentioned certification because I didn't know what is your the origin of your product. Let's say if it would be a cosmetic brand, it is very important to have right certification so consumer will feel safe using it. But here you can also do it quite well. Just has to be registered somehow in China and certified, so they would know their dog will not have any allergy for the material of what the dog carriers are made of, or for any other parts. Maybe there is some sort of metal or glazing on the metal which can potentially be allergic to the dog. This is very specific, but according to my knowledge, pet accessories have huge potential in China. It is peak, it will be only rising, and you have huge demographic of owners. It can be some young girl, a Generation Z, it can be a teenager, it can be a lady who retired, or a gentleman who retired. So you can communicate in a very different way your product, and definitely there is a potential. I would advise you to start investing into your brand and contacting the niche bloggers who share their dogs lifestyle and all the accessories connected to them.
As I know, also lived in China, and I saw lots of Chinese consumers really likes dogs, especially more than cats. And also, I know the way and opportunity to make the impact also on Chinese market, just like start with Tmall Global. They're allowed the certification from Europe of your business, but again, you need to make the deposit for 1 year. This is for Tmall Global, especially this is Alibaba system unit. They're allowed to produce your goods, especially with the logistic, with any units to upload inside the Tmall Global and so on. Especially they have TP platforms who are allowed to help with European brands, and in UK I suppose they also have office. But anyway, I will also invite probably Ekaterina to discuss with us the especially detailed strategy for your brands. So, and yes, it's
so it will be your next step to talk to Tatiana and discuss all the details. But from my point of view, you can definitely start with the Chinese market, and as the country is not closed, they will be more than welcome for your product.
Okay, and okay.
You're welcome.
All right, welcome. And so about Diana, Diana, could you specify probably the specific industry, and we could give you the more exactly answer.
How do you manage the different interests in the market based on the demographics of China for them to focus on our brand? Really depends on your brand, but you see the demographics in China. Also, my industry is a restaurant. Basically, Chinese people prefer either the fast food chains, which are quite famous all over the world, and they're very much loved in China because they localize the menu, or they like Chinese food. They would not appreciate so much the fine dining from abroad unless this is something simple and closer to their taste. So this is quite a sneaky one. And the interest is basically these two, either very developed, very fancy restaurant, very developed international chain of fast food, very fancy restaurant, or a Chinese restaurant. And by Chinese restaurant, I mean Chinese restaurant from any province in China. It can be any type, can be from Xinjiang, can be from Beijing, Shanghai, Hong Kong, this Cantonese food. They're very into their own culture when it comes to cuisine. But it doesn't mean if you have some new product, you will not communicate it. I will give you example with Oreo and their very successful campaign during the Chinese New Year, Spring Festival this year. Oreo localized everything. First of all, they created the cookie part with the taste of lychee, which is so much loved by Chinese people. And lychee has also this specific maroon coloring. How perfect is that for Chinese New Year? So they engraved the Chinese New Year characters on the front of the cookie. Then they localized the taste, and it was perfect for the campaign. It definitely boosted their sales. All the Chinese people don't really like sweets. But you see, if you localize the taste a little bit, or what KFC is doing, sometimes they have something very unique on the menu. When I was living in China, they had this promotion with starfish, a deep fried starfish. I mean, you would not find it anywhere in US or in Dubai. But in China, it was popular and many people were coming and buying. So you have to communicate with someone who will help you to adjust the concept or to communicate the origin of your brand, origin of your restaurant cuisine to Chinese consumer.
Yeah, but also depends. For example, if you're going to be make the targeting on the Chinese consumers abroad of China, this is one case. If you're making, sorry, to make the analyzing of the Chinese audience. Of course, it's for example, I just also will give an example of Starbucks. So they're even making the partnership with Chinese companies and making the joint venture of the companies, and then to realize it will be easygoing business. But anyway, they're making their investment return only on 1 year. Even they need to invest with a lot of offices, with a lot of branches and the restaurants around China. And of course, first of all, they're making the branches and the cafes on the capital cities in China. If we're talking about the demographic stuff, first of all, you need to focus on the capital cities. Yes, like Beijing, Shanghai, like also Antonin already mentioned. Then if everything is clear about the restaurant,
Tatiana,
of course you can connect with us. So let me also to share on the presentation our contact information. Probably Simon also to, let me open the first. This is Antonina Instagram. You can scan it right now and follow to her really amazing post about China, about Dubai and Dubai luxury lifestyle, and about Chinese, especially products, consumers, and many more. You can scan it right now. Also, if you have any questions, you can drag your or tap the type on direct on LinkedIn as well is allowed. And also my Instagram, you can scan it right now. Who is not joining yet? So also type me or send a message me on LinkedIn, no problem.
By the way, Tatiana has a course about Baidu, and you are more than welcome to contact her about the details. The course is coming very soon. Be the first to purchase it.
Yes, I will just show you, and this is wait me a lot of things. Yes, I created the course, and I realized this is for those who are in digital marketing and will be really useful to get this course. I put a lot of effort on the Baidu marketing basic knowledge. So really soon it will be available on this on the marketing page, and anyone who would like to take the special special price right now. You just sent me a message on LinkedIn on direct. I want to enroll in Baidu course, and so I will give you the price right now on the 150. If you would like to take all materials about the Baidu, you allowed to download them and educate yourself. And also the second way, this is the including for all materials of Baidu marketing and personal meeting during 2 weeks. So you're allowed to ask your questions during 2 weeks. And originally, I'm going to make twice per week are going to meeting with you, organize the meeting with you, and so we could discuss step by step what is Baidu marketing and how this is impact, especially on the luxury brands as well. So you can just send me a message, and I will be happy to help you with Chinese marketing. Thank you, Antonina, for just making me the kind.
Yeah, reminded it was important because Tatiana was working on it very intensively, although she has a full-time job as a marketer here in Dubai. But it will be something very important for you to understand the basics of Chinese marketing campaign, because if you don't know the basics, it will be even harder for you to communicate your questions to the professional.
Yeah, the course also gonna be in English language, and I organized all the materials as well in English. And I will give you the bonus after the course. You will be allowed to see the local branches and the IT companies. And on this kind of locations, you will be allowed to make the real training or the pass even an exam. And of course, in English language, because Baidu actually they're making the courses and training for the English audience as well.
Excellent. Okay. Ekaterina, you are welcome. We did our best to guide you and answer your question. Does anyone else in our audience have questions?
I think it's everything clear or not understandable at all. Okay. So anyway, we are making this recording of the webinar, and I'm going to share this video on our LinkedIn event page. After the meeting, everyone's just attendees on this event allowed to watch this video, and probably also will ask any questions on the comments.
Thank you everyone for coming today. You're welcome to share the recording of this webinar with your friends and contacts on LinkedIn, and do follow up to stay tuned on LinkedIn and Instagram, because we are sharing all the upcoming events there and all the trends which are happening in China right now. And believe me, many things are happening.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks so much, Antonina, for joining. So I really enjoyed the time with you. And so stay tuned and have a good evening to everyone. Bye-bye. Friday's
Enjoy your evening. Bye.
Bye-bye.